it's absolutely critical that in this busy world where people are completely surrounded by messaging 24/7, it's to the point now where the average consumer or the average client or prospect, they don't know where to look and they don't know who to trust. And that's a problem for organizations. So what organizations need to do is they need to win that battle for time, but they can't just do random stuff with random messaging. It has to be baked in purpose. It has to be followed up with and brought to life through actions, and it has to be promoted in the most responsible way. So that's really what the three words are all about. Thinking, doing, and saying. The thinking is, what do you believe? What's your purpose? The doing is, how do you reinforce that purpose? What actions and behaviors do you take within an organization to reinforce your purpose? And if you believe in something better and beyond products, and you behave in a way that reinforces that, that's worth talking about. And if it's worth talking about, then you should probably talk about it in a really conscious way, in a way that brings as many people on side as possible. That's what you think, it's what you do, it's what you say. You can take a look at any brand failure over the past decade, whether it's, Starbucks calling the police through United Airlines dragging a guy off the plane. Now, those aren't horrible organizations. They're, for the most part, wonderful organizations with great purpose and great values. The problem is that when the actions of 1, 2, or 3 people contradict what the organization stands for, well, that creates an integrity gap. An integrity gap creates negative momentum for an organization. And that's when 60 Minutes or the police are called, and you don't want that to happen. And so more and more what we're seeing is it's increasingly difficult for organizations to communicate what those values are to frontline employees. It's increasingly difficult for frontline employees to understand where the organization is taking the people within the organization. They don't know what they're supposed to live up to. As we've seen that, we've seen more and more integrity gaps occur. Look, let me guess, you're an HR professional, and constantly, you have members of senior management of your senior leadership team coming by, and they're afraid. They're afraid because massive business establishments are going down. They're afraid because they're worried that their people don't have the skill sets to exist and to thrive in this new era that we're in. And they're looking at you to solve it. They're looking at you to ensure that the culture is cool enough and fun enough that it competes with startups. They're looking at you to ensure that people are trained in the most current and contemporary way. They're looking at you to ensure that the entire organization lives up to the purpose of the organization. That's all on you. So when organizations look to HR professionals, this is your moment to shine. You can guide the actions, you can guide the behaviors, you can drive the culture so that your organization can succeed. Look, obviously the world of recruitment has changed drastically since the online tools have been made available both to HR professionals as well as to job seekers. But here's the thing, look, remember like 20 years ago when we started to find out that we could book travel on our own, and all of a sudden people stood back and said, this is incredible, I can book my own flight. And we did that for a long time. In 2016, the use of travel agents increased for the very first time in a decade. Why? Because while we had the tools that we could book our own flights, that we could book our own travel, who the hell wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. So in one way, we're caught in this, we've gone well beyond the capabilities of the technology where people are looking to online to do everything within the recruiting process. Oh, yeah, that's right. Why pay a recruiter when you can just post an online ad? Guess what? Now you got 10,000 resumes to go through and none of them are qualified. So much for DIY recruitment. Not as helpful as you thought it was going to be. So I think what we're going to see is we're going to see it come back. And we're going to start to see the digital tools that can really, really help us do our job. But we're also going to outsource a portion of that both to HR departments and to recruiters so that the specialists within human resources can actually do the job that they were meant to do, that they are the experts in doing. What organizations need to thrive in this new era is they need a variety of perspectives. They need a perspective from different cultures, they need perspectives from different genders, they need a perspective from different age groups. Now, when I say individuals and organizations have to believe in the same things and they need to behave in similar ways, that doesn't mean that we all just do it blindly. We fight for what we believe in. We add additional perspectives. We ensure that diversity of thought is represented in our diversity of representation. And when we do that, it's so much better and it's so much more organic for an organization to embrace different perspectives, to land in a place that is so much more realistic, to land in a place that is so much more aspirational to everybody who's a part of that team.